Hi, I'm Stuti the Activist. I'm a child author and activist, and I started Operation Greenstitch, which is a mission that battles fast fashion and tries to make the world a better place. I think that sustainability is what is right, and through my books, I like conveying inspiration and inspiring others to write as well. I think that the world is in the children's hands, and right now you're tuning in to So Booking Cool.
That's so motherfucking cool to listen to So Booking Cool.
Welcome to So Booking Cool, it's Jewel B. Today's guest is a child author and activist who founded Operation Greenstitch, an organization with a mission to stop fast fashion and promote sustainability. Here with us today, she is Stuti the Activist. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the show. How are you doing these days, would you say?
I am doing really well with the mission slash operation. Lots of people have been supporting me and have been joining, and I've been donating a lot to this NGO called Goonj.
Oh, wow. Okay, first of all, you have to tell us about how you got into activism and how you got into, being a leader, having your own organization, in addition to being an author. We're excited to go through all of that with you, Stuti. So, yeah, when did you know that you would come to do this? Did you know?
Well, actually, it started when I was really small. So I started watching the news and I learned about the issues in the world and it just made me sad. So I kind of just proclaimed, I want to be this, and it was like my true calling. But this fast fashion, I only started it recently. Otherwise, I only worked on gender equality and animal rights. But recently, I figured out about fast fashion in a school project. So it was about the SDG goals, and I found out about cloth wastage and how it hurts the environment. And it made me really sad. I just wanted to somehow fix it. So then my friends and we came together and Operation Greenstitch was born.
Oh, wow, look at that. So, did you see any examples like growing up, like maybe in your family, your neighborhood, or whomever, where people wanted to make a difference?
My family and my friends support me a lot. They also have similar thoughts. So, ever since I was little, I would do things with their help. So, I have this one friend. She is also an activist. She works on electronic waste and e-waste. She works on like e-waste hurting the environment. So I think it was really cool and it kind of influenced why I wanted to do this. And overall, they just really helped.
That's wonderful. So, how old are you?
I am currently 11, but I'm turning 12 in July.
Okay. All right. Yes. What do you think when you hear people say things like young people are the future? What comes to your mind?
Young people are the future. That's true. But honestly, I think that young people don't have to make a difference when they grow up. They can make it now if they want. No one is really too little or too small to make a big difference. Change starts from right from the beginning.
That is so inspiring. So, when you found out that you cared about fast fashion, what were your next steps to saying like I want to start something that can try to stop the problems that fast fashion causes?
It started, as I said earlier, with a school project.
Right.
So we had to research on it and fast fashion. I just found out about it and immediately I started researching about it for school and for myself. So then I started researching about it and finding all about what it causes, how it's caused, what issues it causes, and how to stop it. So then I started donating to thrift stores. But then I found out that thrift stores, the as in like the one near me, it doesn't keep all of the clothes. Sometimes they just waste the extra clothes. So then I started donating to an NGO called Gooj. I found out that they don't throw the excess waste they have. Instead, they give it to the people who can't actually afford clothes because it's actually a dignity. So then I started with Gunj, and afterwards I went towards Operation Greenstitch. I named it so because I wanted it to be kind of like an army mission. So it is something to be serious about, and it isn't actually taken seriously because most people don't even know about fast fashion. Like, most of the people I know, they don't know fast fashion. When I ask them what's the biggest problem in the world, they say pollution, water wastage, and all that. But fast fashion is what most people do without even knowing about.
Fast fashion is a business model defined by the rapid design, production, and marketing of inexpensive clothing, right? So there are a lot of different brands that are considered to be fast fashion. Why do you think fast fashion is popular? Let's start there.
When it started in the industrial era. Everyone was like, "Ooh, yay, clothes!" Because earlier clothes were kind of like they were made handmade, so they were hard to find. But then with machines in the industrial era, you could get everything cheap. So if earlier someone wore a shirt for their entire childhood, every day, imagine they get their shirt dirty. Instead of washing it or fixing the holes, they'll just buy a new one. And recently, through trends and social media, everyone, like influencers, they like showing off their clothes. And then people think, we want those clothes. And then soon they end up buying so many clothes that they have to end up wasting some that get burnt and hurt the environment by releasing chemicals.
Okay, yeah. So that is something that we hear like with the chemicals and the waste of the clothes. And you said like if the clothing gets stained, but what are some other reasons, Study, do you notice that fashion will get wasted?
There's this recent like trend, Shein hauls. People buy lots and lots of clothes. They don't even need that much. They just get a lot, show it off for the camera, and then they just waste it. Or maybe, for instance, in a fast fashion store, they'll have way too many clothes to sell. And even if they have the smallest of dents or issues, they just get rid of them.
Mm. hmm So what is it that you do with Operation Greenstitch?
We like hosting fundraisers that we donate to several NGOs, and also we try to do some work ourselves. And I also like hosting library sessions where me and some close people, we tell people who don't even know about fast fashion all about it. And it's mostly just about consumer knowledge because we can't stop fast fashion, but we can change the consumers' minds.
Okay, so helping to spread awareness, right? Yeah. How have people responded to your activism when it comes to fast fashion?
When I say I'm an activist, they ask, "Oh, what do you do?" They expect me to be some big Greta Thunberg getting Nobel Peace Prizes and everything. But I tell them what it's really about. Like, I tell them about fast fashion, Operation Greenstitch, our mission. And sometimes it changes their mindset, but other times they just think it is kind of cute, which I find a little bit annoying.
Oh, okay. So they're like, "Oh, that's so cute. You're so adorable." Okay. What what makes it annoying?
Because everyone thinks that, oh, it's nice that this kid can thinks that they can make change. But kids can make change. Age doesn't matter.
Understood, understood. And you did mention that you like to host libraries. As I said, you are also an author. So how did that start? You becoming an author?
When I was really small, like 4, I wrote this book. It was called Emmy's Adventures in Wonderland. It was kind of like Alice in Wonderland themed. But then, so I started writing. And then it just became a project. I started adding my own ideas, I started making it, and then I thought someday I'm going to publish this. So when I grew up, when I was 10, when I knew that I could like publish this, I published it, I added some changes, made it a little bit better, and published it. And then recently, I've helped a girl called Tushita RS publish by helping her write and also editing this book called Where is B.
Okay, you're busy. Um, and I love that. What would you say like a typical day looks for you?
If it's a school day, I just wake up,
Mhm.
I get ready, I go to school, and then I come back. I finish homework, and then after that, it's my prime time. I can do whatever I want to do, like write some stuff for my blog, finish my 2 ongoing books, or maybe just make some stuff like reused leather satchels from old shoes. They're kind of hard to make though. But I just do all of my stuff there, activist stuff, and then I go to classes or go down to play, and then I eat dinner and sleep, and then the whole cycle repeats.
Okay. How has your school community responded to your activism and you being an author and a writer? Do they know?
They do, and they're actually really supportive about it. They don't actively do much about it, but they do congratulate me a lot on it. And when I had my petition to ban the worst of worst synthetic chemicals and fibers, a lot of my classmates signed.
Ooh. So when you see that kind of response, what does that say to you?
It says to me that these people care, and someday when they grow up, they're not going to just keep repeating the old habits, and they're going to make the future bright.
Okay. Yes. And study, tell us what have been any challenges that you have had to overcome in your journey, and we also want to talk about what are some of the proudest moments for you as well so far.
So, my obstacles, there aren't many, but the thing is that sometimes people don't take me seriously. That's why. And also, for my first book, there weren't many publishers, so I decided to publish it myself. But then I kind of started getting into the habit of that. Now my books are published through a self publishing service. And my proudest moments are first when I hosted a fundraiser and donated 5,000 rupees for to Gunj. They sent a thank you note. It wasn't much, but it meant a lot to me. And when my friend first bought Emmy's Adventures, I was jumping up and down and I loved it.
Aw. Why did you love it, and why did that thank you note mean so much to you?
Because it showed that these people, they make change. They're very busy, they're always going around doing stuff and making the world a better place, but then they just they took some of their valuable time just to say thank you to me. And based on how much they get from everyone else and how much help they get from everyone else and all their employees, they just said thank you to me, which I found really special.
And with the excitement from your book, tell us what your books are about.
So, my first book, Emmy's Adventures, it's a small children's book about finding magic, and it has it has the implicit meaning of magic is within you no matter if you know it or not. And I have this ongoing book. It's up to us to save the world. It's about fast fashion, like the ultimate guide on how all of the kids, we as the consumers, we have to make the change and we have to make the world a better place. And my other book, Elemental Club, it is about the elements and kids trying to make something that I will not reveal.
Okay. And what would you say that you have learned about yourself when writing these books?
At first, I thought it was kind of silly of myself to be thinking I can write a book and it'll be published someday. So, but I just started. And then it started coming out of me. Like I started realizing, oh, wait, I actually have potential. And it kind of just inspired me.
Why put it in the form of a book? Why do books matter to you?
Now, with e-reading and stuff online on websites, kids are getting addicted to screens, which isn't quite healthy for them. It also sometimes rots people's brains, which isn't going to help them when they grow up. But books, I honestly think they're just better. Like from the feel of them to the flipping of them, it's much better in my opinion.
Okay. Do you have a favorite book at all?
I do like lots of books. I am a true bookworm, but I do favor The Land of Stories and the Rick Riordan verse.
Oh, okay. What is it about it that you like, and what would you like to ask the author?
To both of the series and universe, I would like to ask the authors, how exactly do you put yourself in the series and make it so real? Like you'll find little bits and pieces that you'll find out connect with other bits and pieces, even if it was just a coincidence, which makes it very real. So I'd like to ask the authors how they do that and how they make the magic happen.
What do you want people to take away from the books that you write and the books that are to come from you in the future?
I want them to take them lightly, to get entertained, and also to realize that if this 4-year-old kid could write something, then maybe we can write it too. I just want to inspire people to write.
All right. And what's your favorite thing about your blog?
I have limited posts on it, but I like my blog because it's a space for me to just share what I think. So people can just read my opinion and see if it matches with theirs.
And I know you've written about fast fashion among some other topics. So what makes Stuti say, I'm going to write about this?
It's just sitting in my head, so then I keep it in a small corner of my brain, and it's with a lot of ideas. And then someday I'm like, I have enough facts, I have enough sentences in my brain for this. Let me sit down and write it.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Oh, that's a hard one. Probably something like maths because I love numbers and see them everywhere.
What do you see yourself doing in the future?
I see myself continuing what I am doing now, but also on the side doing some other profession, such as being a lawyer or just being an activist full time.
Ooh, okay. And speaking of activism again, tell us what your do's and don'ts are for anyone who wants to become an activist.
Um, let's start with the don'ts.
Okay.
Just do whatever you do, don't go against what you say, because this is an ethical concern. Sometimes people just say stuff and then go against it behind the camera, which is not right at all. Instead, what you can do is, instead of making huge claims, and even you do that, make little claims and try to incorporate that in your life so that people can be like, oh, even they're doing this. And um, don't say stuff that will hurt other people or hurt companies, even if they're doing wrong. Just don't try to hurt them. Instead, what you can do is say it in general. Don't point out, oh, this person's doing the wrong thing. Oh, this company is being mean to this person. Just say in general why it is wrong. So then, if that company or person ever comes across what you're saying, they can try to change.
That's really, really smart. Yeah, really thoughtful. There's so many questions to ask you, Stuti. What else is something that, we should be talking about that hasn't come up yet?
I think what everyone should be talking about is animal rights. Because, like, where I come from, there's many dogs on the streets. People hit them with whips and ropes. They don't feed them. If it's rainy, they'll just watch them in the water and then laugh. It's not fair. People should be protecting animals. After all, when humans go extinct, they're going to be the ones keeping the earth safe.
Here, Stuti shares her thoughts on how do you respond to people who may say you moved on from this cause to another cause.
So, basically, if you want to support something, sure, you can support it. And when you want to support something else, if you think it's right, you can support that as well. But if it goes against what you used to support, then you're going to have to make a choice, and it'll be tricky. And you're going to have to say, I was wrong. Actually, this is right. And here's why it is right. But otherwise, if you want to support something, you can support anything you want, because lots of things are right in life and lots of things are wrong. Just be sure that you show people why it's wrong and why it's right.
And on that note, Stuti the Activist. Stuti, thank you so much for coming on So Booking Cool. You are so booking cool. And let everyone know how they can keep up with you, the best ways.
Thank you so much for having me. And here's what I'm going to end this question with. No one is too small to make a difference, and no one is too old to say something, because if it's in your brain and if you want to show it and share it with the world, you can. It doesn't matter if they won't listen. You said it, and that's all that counts.
Oh, guys, don't you just love Stuti? Wow. Okay. That is wonderful. Check out the work that she's doing. We will be on the lookout for those two books that you're writing that, are likely to have a December release. I would love to talk to you again in the future, and you're very
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
No
Thank you so
problem.
much, and goodbye.
Take care, and thank you to all the viewers and listeners. Until next time, so booking cool.